angle of the route for the zero blitz. But other than that, I thought when we adjusted, we played pretty solid.
When you went to play action, there's only 5 times, but Tom was very effective. He's been effective 4 out of 5, I think, yesterday. Would you want to use more play action in your offense?
I'd love to for not 17 down early.
Yeah.
You got to. The nice thing about this one, we stayed with the game plan,
right,
and clawed back in it. And I look at the game and 3 possessions offensively, kicking a field goal on the first drive when we got first and goal on the 5. We got 3, right, but 7 was huge. And then the 2 scoring opportunities. If we just get field goals, that's 6 points that makes a difference. And we turn it over. To me, those were the drives offensively that were really important. Defensively, we get hit on out and up, and they really got exposed twice in man coverage, but 2 of them were great. I don't care who's covering Tyreek Hill because Carlton had him covered, and it was just great throws, and you can't defend a great throw. So hindsight's always 20/20. The zone coverage, they were hitting us a little bit in RPO, so you got to pick your poison with that guy. And I was really proud. I thought the defense adjusted really, really well in the second half. The penalty on the roughing the passer cost us about 3 minutes and 40 seconds at the end of the game. That was huge, and I still don't believe that's a penalty.
Gotcha. Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach, along the lines of the cover zero, I had you 1 for 5 on those. And for the most part, they were deep pass attempts. And I understand the thinking behind that. You don't have any deep defender there. You go for a kill shot, right? But I know also, like in the fourth quarter, you guys hit Cam Brate for like 5 yards in the flat. So on those plays where you guys are going up against cover zero, how many options are there truly underneath when you have those, or is it really just you have to make that shot deep?
No, there's a bunch of options, and you can also check the protection to get it picked up and then take the deep shot. So yeah, we just got to do a better job of game planning. That we knew it was coming. They're a cover zero. Spags has always been a cover zero guy. We just didn't handle it well enough in certain situations.
And I know Rick asked about the play action. I know we haven't seen a ton of it the last 2 weeks. But what are your philosophies on the use of motion? I know you do a lot of it like pre-snap, but what about at the snap? Is that something that you would consider doing going forward?
We've done it in the past, and we did it for years. I never see a lot of quarterbacks. Peyton Manning never wanted anybody in motion. So each quarterback's so different, what they want the motion for. We have used jet motion a little bit. I'm not a big fan of it. So if it's going to disrupt what you're doing versus just blocking people.
Thank you, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to go over to Ira Kaufman.
Bruce, the run defense has been fabulous all season, consistent, 12 games. But the pass defense, Bruce, in this little tailspin, it's not playing up to the standards, the first half of the season. What's going on there? Do you need a better pass rush or better coverage?
I think it's that combination. We got to cover tighter, and we got to get home faster. We can't let a guy in man coverage have 3.7, 3.8 seconds to throw a ball. It's got to come out in 3 or less, and we can cover for 10 or 12 yards, but we're going to give him that much time. Again, Patrick is an unbelievable guy. He just keeps backpedaling. He was backpedaling to his left for about, 9.5 yards and throws a dime. So we don't see him every week. But yeah, I think tighter coverage. Against the Rams, it was tighter coverage. But when we're playing man, we got to get home.
Thanks, Bruce.
You bet.
All right, we'll go to Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Bruce, you told Jenna just a couple seconds there you're not a huge fan of motion, but has Tom Brady asked for more motion in the offense to help him identify coverages?
That's the motion that we use, yeah.
But I'm saying, has he asked for more of that? You use it sparingly in your offense, but has he asked it in more regularity?
We do as much as he wants.
Okay.
Mhm.
Also, you're the quarterback whisperer, former quarterback advocate. Has the NFL gone overboard in terms of protecting the quarterback? You mentioned the JPP hit. Kevin Minter had a sack against Teddy Bridgewater that was, face mask to face mask. But what are your thoughts on protecting the quarterback? And some of these hits to the head aren't serious; they're more ticky tack. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought Kevin's was a good call. He's got to lower his target and go to the side and not directly land on the quarterback. He did all three. I thought JPP hit the quarterback's arm and glanced into his helmet. I didn't think that would ever be a penalty. Again, we stopped them, but we lost almost 4 minutes off the clock when we had that ball in interception, which changes the end of the game. I'm all for protecting quarterbacks. We don't have a league without them, and especially low hits on the quarterback, which there were a couple that didn't get called.
All right, we're going to go over to Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce, you talked a little bit about how much you guys have already done a lot of self-scouting in terms of knowing what's ahead for opponents in these last 4 games. How much it's so unusual to have a bye this late, but from a coaching perspective, how much does that give you guys a chance to reset and look at what's worked and what hasn't and kind of reestablish things for the last month of the season?
Yeah, the self-scouting and stuff that we do is ourselves. We've got every play listed that we've run all season. The yards, the average, the complete, everything statistically for the entire season for the last 4 ball games, which is usually what another team breaks down. So you have yourself for the whole season and your last 4 to know what the other team's looking at. As far as the other teams, we usually have an advanced guy only a week ahead of time. So we've already got something on the Vikings, and we'll have something on the Falcons before we play them. So, but again, it's more about us, our tendencies, our pluses, our minuses, where we've been successful and where we haven't been.
You talked about the rush not getting home fast enough, but this is 2 weeks in a row where the opposing quarterback has been able to complete like 80% against you in the first half. And obviously the defense kind of figures things out and clamps down. Why do you think it's slow to get to that effective level of defense?
I think the first 15 plays, everybody's scripted their best first 15. We got to do a better job of coming out and matching that speed. So in the Rams game, it was all quick passes and screens. They did a good job of audibling when we showed man-to-man bump and run to hit a couple screens. The rest were just short routes that we didn't make the tackle. This was, not getting fast enough home for a guy to run it out and up and have a safety closer to help. But yeah, we have to start games faster defensively, and that was a big emphasis all week and even the night before the game in talking to us. And same thing offensively. We've got to convert those early third downs and get scores like we did early in the season.
Okay, we're going to go to Steve Isbitz.
Coach, on the roughing the passer, are you seeing that Mahomes follow through, knock JPP's arm into his face? And if that's a penalty, is that something that needs to be a rule change?
I thought he hit the arm, and the arm came over to the top of his helmet. By exact rule, it's supposed to be a forcible blow. I didn't think it was a forcible blow.
Got it. And Carlton Davis, he seemed to lose a little bit of confidence during the game before the late pass breakup. Is that something that you saw in his play, and is that something that you worry about going forward?
No, I think Carlton's he had a tough assignment when we were playing man. He knew it. Like I said, he got beat on a couple of really good throws and a double move. But I don't think he'll ever lose any confidence. He's one of those guys that goes to the next play.
All right, we have time for a few more. We're going to go with one with JP Peterson and then one with Kalen Kaler.
Hey, Bruce. Obviously, Rojo, spectacular touchdown yesterday, but he only got 10 touches. Between him and Fournette, just looking at the tape, Rojo just looks so much more explosive. He's making guys miss. Does he need to get more touches in this offense?
I don't think there's any doubt when we don't have to be in 2 minutes for an entire quarter. When you're down 3 scores, then you got to put your best pass catcher in the ball game. And Roe made a nice catch and run. I think he's getting some more confidence back that we can use him more in the passing game. But no, Leonard has been the guy in third down and nickel. So once you go 2 minute, but for sure, we if everything's equal, we're not down 17 and then fighting back. He needs to have 20 touches.
All right, final two are going to be Scott Reynolds, then Kalen Kaler.
Hey, Bruce. So with 6 days off, I just wanted to ask you how you and your staff are going to be using the bye week. I know the players have the time off. How much time will the coaches have off versus how you guys are going to be meeting at the facility or via Zoom?
Yeah, we're not allowed in the facilities today and tomorrow. League rules have us out of the facility for the virus. We'll be back in Wednesday and get everything settled as far as going back through the self-scout stuff and get a good handle on the Vikings and get the game plan set, and they'll have the weekend off.
I will close with Kalen.
Hey, Bruce. Kaylin Kaler, right for Bleacher Report. Nice to meet you. Talked a lot this offseason about possibly doing the quarantine quarterback thing where you keep a quarterback kind of away from the rest of the group. I'm curious with what happened with the Broncos this Sunday where they didn't have a single quarterback available to them, starting a practice squad wide receiver primarily at that role. Did that make you think any differently about the way that you're handling your quarterbacks in this environment? And was it a reality check? Is it a worst case scenario? What happened to Denver? And do you use that as an example with your players to really stress, we've got to wear our masks in the facility. We've really got to follow this protocol.
Yeah, our guys have been outstanding. We follow the protocols and we have such a great facility. We have so much space and so much space outside. So our guys they've got their masks on entirely at the meetings. They're spread out apart.